Welcome back for another exciting season of Health Talks. We're thrilled to be able to bring to you some fresh new content, and we're going to talk a little bit now just about what the sort of things we will cover in this next season. Jess, can you tell us what we're in store for?
Yes, I have some awesome topics in store for you guys. I'm going to give you some really, really amazing detoxification techniques, and then we're going to dive into my morning routine. So what have you got going on, Mel?
I'm going to tell you about my top 5 favourite superfoods and why they're so good for you. Plus, I'm going to teach you how to become a miracle magnet. Yes, very exciting. Sam, what have you got for us?
So welcome back for the year 2013. We've got a whole new range of recipes and remedies to share with you. We've got a new location that we're working from, and we're going to be taking you all around the place to show you a whole lot of different wellness adventures and share some of our recent experiences. So I'm looking forward to a great year, and we're going to kick off the year with my famous Beet Top Tea recipe.
Thanks, Sam. Nat, what have you got going on?
I'm going to head across to the kitchen with a few guests, and we're going to talk about probiotics and fermented foods and my most favourite topic ever, ovulation, and how you can really know when you're ovulating and when you're not.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
We know you love the pilot season because you're back for more, but we need your help.
Yes, whether you're watching us on the blogs or on Facebook, we really, really need you to interact with us. Click on that share button and spread the love. Also leave some comments and just join in with us, because Health Talks really can't survive without your input.
So there you have it. You see what's in store for this season. We've got some awesome things lined up, but today we're not going to leave you empty-handed.
In this segment, I'm going to show you how to make one of my signature dishes, which is actually a beet top tea. Remember when we made the beetroot salad with the rose water and the pomegranates, and I think we just declared that that was totes amazeballs or something fabulous? Well, this is the beet top tea that I referred to. And to make beet top tea, you've got to have the beet tops. So you might call them beet greens or the beet tops. They're exceptionally beautiful. I love beetroot. We look at it medicinally because of its colour. It's that rich red colour which helps to tonify the liver energy. So we say that beetroot is particularly good for liver and detoxification. The greens, of course, have an alkaline component. We use them fresh, and we try not to have the tea for longer than a few hours because, again, a little bit like some cooked spinach, the oxalic acid and some of the oxidation of the leaves will occur, and it'll make it very bitter, but it'll also make it quite acidic. So when we make this tea, you want to drink it pretty much as soon as it's ready. So the thing to do is to separate your beets if you haven't already. Most people would discard these beet tops, but they're really valuable. So I've just got a pot of water on the stove. I've already put a few in there. And I just pat them down with a spoon or a ladle, or you can cut them smaller. And we're just bringing that to the boil to a gentle simmer, if this one wants to tuck in. And I'm using a copper pot today. I love copper. I use stainless steel in my commercial environment because it's a commercial kitchen and it's just more viable. But at home I use copper pots just like these beautiful French ones, and also the cast iron and enamel pots that happen to be on the stove at the moment. So coming back to the tea, I've got the beet tops in some hot water here. That's on a high heat at the moment just to bring it up to boil, and then we're going to reduce it down. I've got a stalk of lemongrass here, so this is obviously going to give it that lovely lemongrassy, summery, alkalising flavour. And there's a couple of things you can do with lemongrass. My travels in Bali and my work with my friend Janet Deneve, who has cooking school and lots of restaurants over in Bali, she's taught me many things about Southeast Asian cuisine. And one of them is to bruise the lemongrass with the back of a knife, like this. And another thing is just to cut it down a little bit, and if you can, tie it in a knot, or at least break it up. So rather than shredding the lemongrass where you get shards of lemongrass and everything, and that goes for your curry paste, if you just tie it in a knot, or at least something that looks a little bit like a knot, then you can pop that into your stock pot. Essentially you're making a stock out of, a vegetable stock out of beet leaves and lemongrass, but we're going to have it as a tisane or a tea today. So that goes in, and because we've broken it up like that and not cut it, all those essential oils are now infusing into that pot. We can just turn that down a little bit. We've got some fresh ginger here. We've talked a lot about fresh ginger. I'm just cutting it off the hand of ginger. This is the hand of ginger. The central component is the strongest whenever you buy ginger or turmeric. And these are like the little fingers or the babies that come off the mother area. So as the root grows, this is the central force and has the most flavour. Usually this is a lighter flavour. A couple of different things you can do when it comes to ginger. And one is to just peel it with a spoon rather than a knife. So you get into all the nooks and crannies rather than getting a lot of wastage. And this is one of the most popular tips that I ever share in the cooking school. People are like, oh my stars, that's amazing. How do you know how to do that? It's more that you just get into all those little bits and okay, and there's no wastage. So using either your cheese grater or a mandolin like this, just get a little bit of ginger root, almost like the zest really. So we want about a teaspoon into there. So 1 stalk of lemongrass, half a bunch of beet tops, about a teaspoon of freshly minced ginger. And then to finish that, we're going to have a little bit of lime. Now before you cut the lime, another tip is just to roll it, to bruise it slightly, and this helps to release the pith. Lemons tend to be a lot softer and a bit more pliable, and the juice is a lot more easily extracted. But with limes, particularly if they're a little bit tough or perhaps not as ripe, they just need a little bit of a massage. So just give it a little bit of a rub on the board and then cut it down the centre, obviously. Whichever juicer you want to use, or you can just use your hand. I just prefer to use the handheld one. It's my favourite piece of equipment. And just adding the acidity. So this tea I specially designed when I lived down in Melbourne. I was living in Collingwood long before I moved up to the wilds of Byron Bay. And I used to have all the beet tops because I would pick all the beetroots or do beetroot salad or something like that, and I'd have all the beet tops. And I looked up a couple of recipes, and Paul Pitchford, who wrote a great book called Healing with Whole Foods, talked about the beet top tea. So this is my version of it. And again, it's the medicinal purpose or the intention of this dish is to alkalise, to tonify the blood and purify the blood. So it's particularly good as an anti-inflammatory. It's great for any inflammatory response, period pain particularly. It's a great tonic for hangovers. It really is, because it's alkaline and it's supporting that liver detox process. So it's certainly a wonderful thing if you've had too many sherbets the night before. You can cook it down for about 30 minutes, maybe 15, depending on how fresh your beetroot tops or how young the beet tops. So these ones are attached to the baby beets. So they're the baby beet tops. But those big beets that you get obviously have much bigger, chalkier or strawy kind of like leaves. So I prefer the baby beets at the moment. And then with a ladle, you get this beautiful pink coloured tonic that you can continue to cook down a little bit further, and it will continue to steep. Obviously, it's a little tea. And you can then just give that some more acidity and balance with the fresh lime. So if the longer that infuses, of course, the lemongrass characteristics are going to come out. The ginger is going to permeate into the tonic a little bit more. But for the meantime, here's our beet top tea.